So this guy, his name's Kai. And Kai just got kidnapped, and the kidnappers are demanding a ton of ransom money. So Kai's 17, and he's an exchange student from China going to high school in Utah. And one day, some anonymous person sends him a message. Let's call this person Shadow. And Shadow sends him a message and says that he'll hurt Kai's family back in China if he doesn't hand over some money. And Kai, he doesn't know what to do. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of money, so he gives him what he can. And Kai wants to contact his family back in China to warn them that Shadow is watching them, but Shadow says, nope, if you do that or tell anyone, I'm going to hurt them. So Kai complies. I mean, he doesn't want his family hurt. And soon enough, Shadow hits up Kai again and asks for more money. And again, Kai doesn't know what to do, so he gives Shadow more money. And this goes on for weeks. Shadow threatens Kai's family, and Kai gives him a little money. And eventually, after a few times of this, Kai goes broke. And Shadow hits him up, and Kai's like, I don't have any more money. You took it all. And Shadow is not happy. Meanwhile, back in China, Kai's parents don't know what's going on. But Kai's in high school, so they are monitoring his bank account. And they're like, why is Kai over there spending so much money? Then, one day, after all that, Kai just disappears. He just doesn't show up for school one day. He's not at home. He's gone. And Shadow, he contacts Kai's parents in China, and he sends them a picture of Kai alone being held captive, and he demands they pay him ransom money. So Kai's parents panic, and they immediately transfer around $80,000 to various bank accounts for Shadow so that he won't hurt Kai. But they also call the liaison for foreign exchange students in Utah. The liaison calls Kai's school and is like, where's Kai? His parents think he's been kidnapped. School calls the police, and officers go to Kai's host family's home to investigate. And host family has no idea where Kai is. He was just in his room that morning. So no one can find Kai, so police gets the FBI involved. And immediately the FBI looks at this and they're like, we know exactly what this is. We've seen this before. Meanwhile, cell tower pings show that Kai's phone has been used up in the nearby mountains. And they're like, all right, he's probably in the mountains. So they look for him in the mountains for several days. They use drones, search parties. They still can't find him. And finally, in a secluded area, an officer spots a lone tent. They approach the tent, and in it they find Kai, freezing cold and scared. He had nothing but a little food, water, his sleeping bag, blanket, and a couple of cell phones. But there are no kidnappers around, no Shadow, no nothing. Now, allegedly, Shadow had convinced Kai to go up into the mountains, pretend to be kidnapped, and take pictures of himself, so that Shadow could extort money from Kai's family back in China. And according to the FBI, this is a new type of kidnapping called cyber kidnapping, and it's a real thing. Like, I called the guy Shadow, but it was likely a group of people. But they were never even in the US. Their IP addresses show they were running this scheme out of China the whole time. And since all this happened, poor Kai has gone back to China to be with his family. And Shadow, or whoever the fake kidnappers are, have not been caught. Shout out to technology.